Hello everyone and welcome to your show Around Kuwait. This is your host Abdulaziz Darwish. As usual in our show, we're showcasing you about the recent events, occasions happening in the state of Kuwait, and also our camera crew are traveling all around the 6 governorates to show you great events. And sometimes we have a distinguished guest who are going to join us here in our show Around Kuwait. And before we start, I would like to greet our working crew and my colleague Hiba. Hello Hiba, and happy to see you today.
Good day, Abdulaziz, and a great welcome to all of our viewers. As usual, our crew actually prepared some great reports that's going to be presented for you when it comes into our headlines. We have lots of things that are actually happening here in Kuwait, and of course, starting with our first headline, talking more about the relationship between Kuwait and of course Pakistan, 16 years, and that's a really remarkable kind of collaboration at that time. And of course, when it comes into that, it's all held and presented within the art exhibition itself.
And also we appreciate the bilateral diplomatic relation between the two friendly countries. The state of Kuwait and Islamic Republic of Pakistan have a unique relationship. We are celebrating the 60th anniversary. So 60 years of establishment, combining and bonding, and also mutual culture, mutual trade, and even more. This is the most important because these 60 years is combined for our art exhibition. We're gonna elaborate more in our episode.
Yes, and of course when it comes into our second headline, since we let's say having this festival when it comes into the film fair making, we're going to talk more about Ghalia Hayat, especially when it comes into her way, when it comes into guidance and showing what she's actually been doing when it comes into film fair itself.
And also we appreciate what our co-host Hiba, when you pick a person he's working in the administration of the film industry, such as Mrs. Ghalia Hayat. She's the deputy GM of Cinescape KNCC. So you bring a person who's expert in the field, in the kitchen itself. So this person came to you and he's already taking his time off, like a break, to share to the audience about how to create the filmmakers and to guide them the steps, how to they creating the film, the challenges, and to take the negativity to make it as a challenge and the big success story. Yeah. This is huge important to bring one of the administrators.
Yes, indeed. And of course, finally, when it comes into our last topic, we're going to talk more about a topic where it went from darkness to light. And of course, saying that it's the name of the Iron Woman herself, Sarah Akbar. And of course, when it comes to her participation into trying to, let's say, deal with all the fires that actually happened during the occupation itself. I mean, that's really tremendous.
So that's why, because you already interviewed her before, so we're going to talk more about her big story during in our episode. So that's why our episode today full with too many different categories. Yes. Diplomacy and filming, and also some about historical legends, the Iron Woman, engineer Sarah Akbar. So this like the combined emotions with challenging and even about democracy.
Yes, indeed. And of course, the viewers, all that will be presented within the upcoming reports, so stay tuned with us.
To mark 60 years of Kuwait and Pakistan's friendly relations, a special art workshop took place at a studio in Kuwait featuring talented Pakistani artists. The event was graced by the Pakistani ambassador to Kuwait and the Secretary General of the arts sector. This celebration wasn't just about diplomacy, it was a moment of art and culture. Pakistani artists shared their talents and creativity, giving us a glimpse into the beauty of their culture.
We planned certain events, and one of the events was the visit of cultural troupe from Pakistan, and the artists, the visit of the artists from Pakistan is part of those activities. And today they are here and they are sharing their experience. I'm really happy and glad, and especially when I see that there are so many people who are really enjoying the artwork of our artists from Pakistan. And our artists must also definitely get a good opportunity to learn from the experience and the knowledge of the artists from Kuwait.
The presence of the Pakistani ambassador emphasized the importance of art in building stronger diplomatic ties. He spoke about how art serves as a universal language that bridges gaps and connects people from different parts of the world. The Secretary General of the arts sector showed Kuwait's dedication to nurturing cultural connections and international friendships. This event highlighted the value of art in promoting unity and understanding. In summary, the 60-year milestone of Kuwait-Pakistan relations was marked with an artistic touch. It wasn't just a celebration of history, it was a reminder of the role of art in bringing people together and fostering international bonds. Art has a unique way of uniting us, and this event captured that beautifully.
Special thanks to our working crew for preparing such an amazing report about the bilateral diplomatic relationship between the State of Kuwait and Islamic Republic of Pakistan. I will start my topic from the end of the report, which is like art unite us.
Yes.
Because we are creating like an art as a universal language. Artists from Pakistan and Kuwaitis, and they are drawing such a big like art, combining two cultures together, different cultures, same continent but different cultures. So like imagining we are doing like people drawing from their country and our country, our logos, our monuments together to creating such a huge and amazing like artwork, combine the two cultures to merge them together, like people understanding them, like in our traditional language, our cultures, everything relates about our even environment together. So it's like between two countries together, merging together two Islamic countries. It's a good actually, and also the presence of His Excellency, the Ambassador of Pakistan to the State of Kuwait was there. It was a huge event.
Yes, indeed, and especially when we're having such events, showing the diplomatic relationship between the two countries is very important, and of course, enhanced that, showing the collaboration within the artists themselves. I mean, talking about Pakistani artists, they're very, very tremendous, very remarkable when it comes into showing their all art, and as you just said, it's more of a language that connects all together. And I think the most important thing is always try to, let's say, learn more about the countries and the relationship we have with the different countries, not between the GCC countries, but when talking about the world itself and expanding the region. We come from the same continent, but again, they're, let's say, different and spacious space when it comes into Pakistan and Kuwait. And we can see people from a very long time ago and still ongoing being here, especially when we're talking about Pakistani residents themselves being here in Kuwait, their schools, they're talking about education. I mean, one of the things that Abdulaziz, I have to say is I had that kind of, let's say, incidents that we had friends that studied here in Kuwait, and they are actually from Pakistan. You know, when it comes into correction and correcting their education, let's say, exams, it used to be transferred towards Pakistan in order for it to be corrected, and then comes back again within the mail. Okay. I mean, that was back in the days. I'm not sure about it nowadays, but I mean, you can see how conflict it is, like though they are here in Kuwait, but still, since you study in a Pakistani school, it has to go to Pakistan in order for it to come back. So it's very remarkable to see that kind of experience, as from my own side of view, talking about people who are from Pakistan and here in Kuwait, and have that kind of relationship presented, especially we're talking about education. I mean, it was really terrifying to hear about the thing, you know, it was really scary because in the end, this is a certificate that they need, but again, seeing that, I mean, it's very amazing to see how actually things work when it comes into the country itself from different perspectives.
And also, when we mention about the different perspective, you know, the key and the main goal of this event is not about only about celebrating the 60th anniversary, not about the presence of His Excellency, the Ambassador, not about the public figures, about the people-to-people relationship. When they convey for the artwork, you will see their smile, they're joyful, they are happy, they are talking to each other, they're exchanging the art, the interaction between each other and different nations, different people. This is the most important thing, I know, like you are doing like an amazing big artwork and people just going there just to do their artwork together. And people, when they are coming to see the artwork, it's more joyful, like you will see people are happy, people are smiling, people enjoying, the artist and the audience itself. So this is the most important thing, because we need people like you say, Picasso, the famous artist from Spain, he said, art, it removes from the person the daily life routine stress. So when you see like you are gathering for the art, it doesn't matter which nation, which country. The main issue is just to enjoy your time, take your brush, think about something to do, and just draw and enjoy your moment.
Yes, indeed, and especially it's a way to represent, let's say, more of a memory, you know. It's very important to always educate ourselves. It's not always about the relationship between the country, but it's also about how important it is that's going to be distributed and presented through art itself. I mean, we can always remember the history of Kuwait in the past. Like, we used to have people who used to buy and bring lots of let's say, economic things and industrial things into the country itself. Businessmen used to go abroad, travel, and to actually purchase everything that is actually presented over there, since we've traveled the seas and we reached towards them. Therefore, that kind of bond relationship, when we're talking about it, it wasn't just about, let's say, political, let's say, diplomatic side, but also when it comes into raising a kind of economic business relationship also at the same time. I mean, it was really, we're always amazed when we hear our ancestors talking about how they actually took the journey itself through sea just to reach towards Pakistan and trying to, let's say, grab the most important things, especially when we're talking about shawls and all of these crafts. You know, they're very important, they're very essential, and they're very different when it comes into the weather and everything. So yet again, it's more of the things that people are really interested in, you know, fabric, clothes, everything associated with it is very important. But at the same time, it all could be represented through art itself. And what an amazing thing is when you see such simple thing, like simplest thing, using a brush and a paint with a canvas and trying to draw and reflect your kind of emotion, and how strong it actually shows after seeing the reflection of such great art represented within the two countries itself.
And also the good important, Hiba, we'll talk about, we saw already from throwing the report, Pakistanis and Kuwaitis artists, they are sitting together, they create the artwork in the center. So people like coming and you see the rich culture of Pakistan, a rich culture of state of Kuwait, the diverse of the culture, the diverse of the environment, the style, the technique of drawing. You know, our techniques are different. We are here in Kuwait, in Italy are different, in Pakistani are different. I will tell you something, like if you want to draw any portrait, in Italy they focus to make like the background black, to focus more about the face. In Pakistani they were going to the blue color, white color. Kuwaitis go with the gray. They combine gray, the basics. So it's like techniques. So we see the techniques and people expert in the artist and want to, see artists and techniques combined with the joyful and we call happiness of the art together. It's a good thing.
Yes, and especially again highlighting that the ambassador was there of Pakistan, and representing the most important thing is the bond, relationship and brotherlyhood bond that actually happens and still ongoing within the two countries, Kuwait and Pakistan, which is 60 years. I mean, that's a really great deal of years that we're dealing with, and especially when it comes into having citizens from Pakistan being here in Kuwait and living here in Kuwait. I mean, Abdulaziz, we were talking about that. The most important thing is always, to me, I feel that when it comes into exchanging culture, once you have a friend, the most first thing that you actually do is you exchange, you know, each other's food within the culture. Therefore, you'll identify Pakistani food, they will know more about Kuwaiti food, and that's what actually happens. And I think the most important thing that combines us, both of us, and makes us really into each other is the chai halib, the milk and tea together, you know. When it's done through Pakistani, it's way, let's say, different when it comes into being dealt with Kuwaiti. So once you go to any kind of, let's say, market, and if you're really well known with the salesman or the businessman who's working, they will always offer you a chai halib, which is milk and tea, and it's really delicious when it comes into the citizens of Pakistan.
And I mean, now we are craving already. You mentioned about the food, that's why. And we are during this time, like we are going now to have our lunch or dinner, like between the brunch. So it's a good thing now we talk about the culture itself, because culture bound people. Culture saw people, the handmade, the crafts, the environment, the culture. It's a good thing. Like even we like to mention, worth mentioning, mentioning about the Secretary General of the art sector playing a vital role to arranging this event, because we can say all the time one hand cannot clap.
Indeed.
And you're arranging like too many entities, too many governmental sectors with the embassy, Pakistani embassy itself. It's a huge important to combine together to encourage and to enhance the relationship between the two friendly countries.
Yes.
That's why this is the main issue important, the trade exchange, the culture exchange, the recruitment. It all comes from the people-to-people relationship.
Yes, and of course, when it comes into that, it's always something very, we're really happy and proud of to have such great bond and relationship for 60 years and still ongoing, inshallah. And I'm very sure everyone enjoyed us talking about it, elaborating about it, and saw the report about it. Therefore, dear viewers, we're going to continue with our headlines, but we're going to head to our second report, so stay tuned to this.
Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are at the AIU University, which is the American International University, at the Film Week Festival. This time we're back with a different topic, distribution, giving a lecture by Ghalia Hayat. So everyone knows about movies, but nobody knows about the process that happens after the movies, which is the distribution. So let's go to the lecture and see what's going on, and we'll be back.
As part of the second Kuwait Film Festival, a seminar titled Distribution was conducted by Ghalia Hayat, a representative from the national cinema company Cinescape. The focus of the seminar was on explaining the distribution process for films on both local and global digital platforms, and their role in supporting Kuwaiti film producers. Ghalia delved into the practical aspects of the post-production journey, emphasizing the numerous steps that precede the film's screening. She shed light on the complexities of the process, including attempts to distribute films on platforms and through companies that align with the producer's goals, and the nature of the project. The seminar provided valuable insights into the challenges and strategies involved in getting a film ready for its audience.
The distribution process has been always very vague, and people don't really know what it means to distribute their film. They know the fun part of film, which is creating a movie, directing, shooting, putting together the story. But when it comes to what happens after the film, people are in the dark. So I think that today it's a very good opportunity to share my knowledge. I've been in this industry for 10 years, and to share my knowledge and try to demystify what it is to be, you know, a distributor or distributing. And it's really very straightforward if people would just like ask the right questions. But people unfortunately get into it too late after they've done their movie and are stuck after. So I hope that it was beneficial. My talk was beneficial today.
Ghalia's expertise highlighted the significance of strategic distribution in the success of Kuwaiti films, bridging the gap between production and audience engagement. In summary, Ghalia Hayat's seminar during the Kuwait Film Festival served as a crucial guide for filmmakers, unraveling the intricacies of film distribution. Her practical explanations demystified the post-production phase, emphasizing the importance of thoughtful distribution to ensure that Kuwaiti films find their audience both locally and globally.
Amazing lecture, and what a wonderful interview, and such a beautiful turnover. So the event was a very successful event, and we hope at Around Kuwait that we see you in different events. So back to you guys at the studio.
We are back to our show again Around Kuwait. Special thanks to our colleague Nasser Borshaid for his wonderful reporting from we call them the filmmakers, already workshop, already guided by Ghalia Hayat. She's one expert in the field of the cinema. She's the Deputy GM of Cinescape, KNCC. And she's like, imagine a person like her working in the cinema industry, every day working 24/7 for the new filming era, buying the films, keeping the film, Kuwaiti film, foreign films, different continents, you know, like it's a diverse of the film industry. And teaching the young generation about the secrets behind the scene, how to make a film, how to create a screen for filming industry and encouraging the young generation to producing films.
Yes.
And people who's interested in the field, who want to work in this field, how to guide them in a good way. So people give them questions and she is already answering, and she is patient and collaborating with each other, the steps to making the film and how they are working on it and how they are containing the people, the audience, when they are coming in to choose the films, which is the best film, what is the trend, people are going with which film now, which one is the Oscar winners. And then you are talking to the young generation Kuwaitis, like, you want to be a filmmaker? Okay, this is step 1, 2, 3. If you do, like, you already produced a film, you want to bring it to the market, this is the steps,
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
How do you deal with it?
Yeah, how to deal with it, so you will not be surprised. So some people, because they want to do a cinema, they won't be in the cinema industry, but because the financial things and the creating and the administrative, there's requirements. She's teaching them, so it's a good thing to make it easier for them.
Yes, that's why I think it was called the buzz. Because you get the buzz feeling, you know, it's so buzzy. So the buzz of the second Kuwait Film Festival. I mean, talking about this industry, people would say, you know, one day this industry is gonna stop, it's gonna end, people are not getting really interested about it. I mean, until when we're gonna deal with movies and creating movies or films. But then the pandemic happened and everyone was sitting at home, and the only thing that was really important is to actually try to spend time, and one of the most luxury thing you used to do is to watch a certain film or movie presented through social platforms. Therefore, this is one of the most important industry. Lots of people, especially we're talking about new generation, having this kind of big dreams of, I want to use that camera, I want to shoot, I want to enjoy and create something very important and useful. But I mean, dealing with cinematic movies and films are really challenging and difficult, because you're dealing with different kind of cameras, dealing with different kind of lenses, filters. I mean, lots of things that have been dealt and presented. Like, I have some of my friends as a director or co-directors working in that field, which is really difficult. And I can see her through social media itself, the way she talks about cameras behind the scene. I mean, it's very difficult. يعني, talking about Aida itself and how she actually is really into directing is very amazing, but to see how frustrating it is. I mean, the expense is really high and the demand is also high. If you have these camera lenses, everyone would like to rent them from you and have you within the production itself. Therefore, having these seminars and through Ghalia itself and how she actually presented it, and of course accepted all of the questions and answered them in a precise way, is very, very important in order for, let's say, the audience themselves, the one who has or who have dreams to want to become one day a director or someone really important in that industry, is to actually know how to enter that industry itself.
And to have like a future filmmakers in Kuwait. Like the most important, like Ghali Hayat, she took all the audience journey for the field of the cinema. You already mentioned something important. Cinema industry is different than the series and the theaters, because the scenarios, the scenes, how to talk to each other is different. The words, the attitude of the actors, and the sound effects and the cameras and the filter and the lenses and the emotions.
Yes.
It's different, because sometimes in series, long conversations with reactions. In cinema, no, sound effects, quick reaction, quick words, straight to the point. Finish, because you have to attract the audience, because every time you have to make them like focus in to the big screen. So that's why it's different when the scene's a little bit short, maybe it's a little bit high, maybe the actors, maybe the type of the camera, the spotlight makes a huge difference, because in the series it's a wide camera.
Yes.
And the TV is like 2, 3, 4 cameras, wide angle, close angle. Them no, sometimes close to close, wide to wide, corner to corner, so it's different. That's why Ghalia always shedding the light more about the complexes and distribution process, how they are distributing, and even to share the audience about the importance for the audience sometimes, like for like people who's amateur in this field. I want to be professional. How to think like a cinema producer, you know. So he's like enjoying your time because you are a big fan of the taking a popcorn and a ticket, and now you are doing you've been in the place like I am creating for the audience.
Yes.
I'm doing something for them, and the directors and the co-workers are thinking to do something for the cinema. So both of them thinking about the audience. You get my point?
Yes.
Like the administrator thinking about to facilitate the movie,
Yes.
and they are creating the movie all for the audience.
Yeah.
This is their own benefits. This is our social responsibility.
Yeah.
So Ghalia taking her time off a break just to share to them about the cinema industry, because the cinema industry, you know how they are working 24/7, 3 shifts, 2 shifts to make people enjoying their time.
Yes, especially when you're talking about cinema industry itself. I mean, dealing with the materials, how do they actually get the movie itself? And people would say that they would never, let's say, consider that the materials is actually presented within the films itself, like the old traditional way, but more advanced. But at the same time, it's more challenging, to deal with them, and especially dealing with all of the cuts. The most important thing, what's going to be presented on the cinema, what are let's say the scenes that should be cut, shouldn't be presented. All of these kind of, let's say, very important focus when it comes into dealing with the kind of material that is going to be presented. And I mean, it's such a hard work when it comes into that. I once entered one of the cinemas in Kuwait, and one of the most thing that I was thinking is the movie was actually being displayed, and then suddenly a jam happened, and I was like never thinking that.
Is it a horror movie?
It wasn't a horror movie, but it was a thriller. Like, I didn't ever think that the screen could have, let's say, some kind of, let's say, a jam in it, because I always thought that it's an ongoing process. And then you've seen the workers themselves trying to fix it, trying to make it into the mood. It took a little bit time, and it was really frustrating because people wouldn't consider that these kind of things could actually happen within cinemas itself, and they would think it's just a movie that's going to be played within a click of a button, and that's it. And then we saw the projector, the movie itself, the film, how it was reconnected and everything. I mean, it was such an amazing thing. And how responsible it is on them, because as you just said, their whole work and their whole most important thing is the audience. They don't want the audience to get to feel bad. They don't want the audience to, let's say, come and not enjoy their time, because in the end they're paying in order for them to enjoy, and they don't want it to be, let's say, happening vice versa. Therefore, I mean, seeing the workers, how let's say fast they were, how eager we were as an audience. I mean, we were angry, we were upset, but at the same time they were having that kind of sense of control, wanting it to actually persuade and becomes better in that perspective.
And also the KNCC, Kuwait National Cinema Company, they are playing a huge role to encourage the Kuwaiti cinemas industry, the young talent, the young generation, in addition, because the good thing now, Ghali Hayat aware the community, aware the people in the cinema industry. But the good thing, let's talk more about the role of the KNCC. The thing they are doing all the time, you notice maybe every 2-3 months there is a Kuwaiti film.
Yes.
In the cinema, in the big screen. This is like we are proud of, like they are encouraging them, they are like supporting them. It's okay, just come, just put your movie. We give you the best demand time. I give them the good times, like movies, like they have a time in demand, an afternoon, in the evening time, in the big certain screens.
Yes, so they display it in the right time where people could actually come.
Yeah, this is a good thing. Like they are doing their best to supporting the Kuwaiti filmmakers and the production companies, especially during these days. We're talking about the good Kuwaiti movies they are distributing. They take award ceremonies during the last five years. You will see like Kuwait now in the award ceremony in the GCC. So and even the Middle East, about the movies. So that's how like on behalf of our show around Kuwait, we're greeting the Kuwait Cinema Company for their amazing job to encouraging the youth and Kuwaiti talents and Kuwaiti production companies to encourage and to produce too many good Kuwaiti films.
Yes.
We have a good actors in the series.
Yes.
Imagine taking them to we call it the cinema production.
Yes.
Even sometimes cinema is not about only production, about the performance of the actor. Like Joker. Okay, I have a good distribution, I made a good cameras, I made a good scene, but the performance was amazing. outstanding performance.
Yes.
So we have like a good Kuwaiti actors with a good directors and a good everything. It will be a great movie.
Yes, and you know what I really think about is that kind of, let's say, issue is when you're talking about series itself and talking about actor and actresses, I think some people, let's say, relate these figures as the ones that you see daily, you know, on daily basis on TV shows. Therefore, I think the most important thing is to always try to encourage new faces, the ones that's, let's say, focused more on cinema and movies that's presented on screen, in order for it to give a chance, maybe, let's say, for different actors and actresses to approach. And at the same time, I think the most important thing is to always have that kind of, having that kind of director phase where they, let's say, start to criticize these kind of moments. And I'm very sure that all of our actors and actresses are really amazing and does a very great job when it comes into working and showing on screen. But I just want to say this, like, I've never ever thought in a million years I'm going to enter a Kuwaiti movie, and I actually did enter the Kuwaiti movie. It was really amazing, very beautiful scenario, very beautiful movie was actually set, and even for the actor and actresses, they were the ones who actually appeared in series, and I'm so surprised about how amazing and well prepared was the scenario, the way that was directed, and I mean, it was something remarkable. So therefore, having that said, there is always a chance for Kuwaiti cinema industry to actually flourish and grow and become really, let's say, maybe global when it comes into that.
And this is the most important. We are very proud about the Kuwaiti producers, Kuwaiti filmmakers, that's why. And you know, the good thing about any cinemas and any kind of the cinema industry, once you enter the screen, you will see the most important thing, which is what? What do you remember?
What?
3, 2, 1. The movie already came.
Yes.
So dear viewers, this about our second topic. We spoke about the Ghali Hayat for guiding the filmmakers. Let's go to this break. They will continue your show around Kuwait.
Hello everyone tuning in. My name is Nasser Burshed and I'm at Al Shaddadiya, Kuwait University. Today we are invited in the seminar that is going to be held here about the fires of the oil refineries and oil wells in Kuwait back in the 1990s. So it's going to be presented by the engineer Sarah Akbar, and we're going to go in right now and check on what's going to happen and have a glimpse of the past of what happened in those days and how they managed to put off the fires and manage how to free Kuwait from this tragedy that happened.
In remembrance of extinguishing the last oil well fire in Kuwait caused by the Iraqi invasion, the College of Science at Kuwait University hosted engineer Sarah Akbar, who played a big role in extinguishing the oil wells. Engineer Sarah Akbar was explaining how she and her team played a major role to extinguish the oil wells, and listed the challenges they faced along with how successfully they accomplished their task.
Of course, we had many firefighters who came from all over the world to help out in the fire, in extinguishing the fires. And we had several big challenges. One of the first challenges was that we had no runway for planes to come. We didn't have a way to bring the even ports. The ports were all, mines. We had lots of mines in the fields. The second challenge was to bring water to the field in order to do the firefighting. And we were very innovative because we reversed the lines. So we have lines that take the oil from the field to the port. We reversed them. So we bring water from the sea to the oil fields. And this actually expedited the process of the firefighting.
As Sarah spoke, it was like connecting the dots between history and the present. The students got a real sense of what their country went through. The lecture room was filled with emotions, almost mirrored the past. But Sarah's words were like a bright light cutting through the darkness. When it was all wrapped up, the students didn't just gain knowledge about the heroic act of the people responsible for putting out the fires, they left feeling proud of their country and its ability to bounce back. Thanks to engineer Sarah Akbar, that night at Kuwait University became a powerful reminder of strength and progress.
We can consider her, she's an icon. She's the one with the her team, of course, Kuwaiti teams, that they put off the fire during the Iraq invasion. And what they did, oh my God, it's really something, because they put off 700 plus wells within a really short period of time.
Finally, engineer Sara Akbar thanked the audience and left them with a set of advice to seek more knowledge and utilize that knowledge to get their desired career.
Welcome back, dear viewers. One of the most remarkable things that actually, let's say, to focus more about in today's episode is talking about engineer Sara Akbar, and of course about her amazing work and achievements that she actually did when it comes into trying to let off the last oil well that was actually on fire here in Kuwait during and after the occupation itself. I mean, it was an event that was held in Kuwait University, especially when we're talking about Science College itself, talking about that field itself and how important it is, because, you know, lots of pollution actually happened during that time. Lots of creatures actually traveled from Kuwait, especially when we're talking about special birds, special plants. I mean, everything was damaged in that particular time and moment and the zone itself. Therefore, it's very amazing to see and to have, as they always say, Iron Woman being presented, and may, of course, God keep her safe.
And the good thing, like in the state of Kuwait, like we're honoring the people who did their best for the country, and we are proud we have too many Iron Women. So it's a good thing, some time to time, to showcasing about their achievement and their success and their heroes. They are Kuwaiti heroes because they're taking their time, they sacrifice their life, their time for the sake, for the environment, for the country itself. And the good thing, it's happened at Kuwait University College of Science. So it's a good thing, like a governmental university. They are like showcasing about the incident happening for fire extinguish during the Iraqi invasion, and the public figure, the main figure was the engineer Sara Akbar. She was in the event, and people talking to her and expressing their emotions, and the people talking to her, and she's expressing herself, like, you know. It's a good thing, like State of Kuwait always honoring their public figures. Sometimes maybe it's not in the media, but you will see like occasions, events, conferences, exhibitions. Sometimes they're inviting these keynote speakers and they are Kuwaiti heroes. Maybe they are not looking for the media, for the scoop, because they do something, they don't want to get it as for granted. They do it for their own self. So, and you've been like, you have like a chance to interview her like 2 years ago.
Yes.
And she speak in details and deep about her situation.
Yes, I mean, you know, us like as women, you always like to ask about specific details, especially like one of the things I remember about her is telling us the story of how she actually always used to go to work and come back really with, let's say, you know, because you're dealing with fire, and of course the weather at that time, you know, they always say if you go outside and come back, you'll have all of these ashes and everything that's associated with the fire itself. Therefore, I mean, she did a really great work. Having her family being concerned about her every time she goes out and come back, because in the end, this is something that's very terrible towards health itself, getting exposed to a lot of, let's say, toxic gases and everything that's associated with it. I mean, creatures have been dead when it comes into that because of getting exposed to such toxic gases, as we just said. But at the same time, I mean, as you just said, she actually did kept that goal in front of her, and she used to always go and try to create the plan, because she was part of the crew that worked in trying to find a plan in order for these wells to be closed and to be let off, you know, of fire. So she worked with the different crews that actually came to help Kuwait, and yeah, it was really challenging, but it was really amazing to see her and to be present with her and to know more about her experience from that point.
That's why we are very proud of her, my colleague Hiba, because these kind of people we need to showcase for them too much. But it's about them if they want to participate or not. But the good thing, like these are some of the history of the state of Kuwait, and people don't forget about their heroes. And she's one of the heroes, and she's one of the main keynote for that time for the fire extinguish during the Iraqi invasion for the, we call it the oils and the gases, and so like a catastrophe for the environment, catastrophe for the humanity. And she's parting there with the working crew from different nationalities working together, and she's speaking like bilingual language, so she can communicate with the other countries, and they are helping each other, the Kuwait fire forces and different fire extinguisher, and they're already doing their job to just to make it off, you know, like they are like doing they're working like in a short period, they finished everything because this is the determination, and they are overcome their obstacles. It's not easy. I've been in the place that all of it like dark and gases, no oxygen, and you don't know what you will gonna face there. Maybe there is some like a fireplace location, maybe they will burn again. Maybe there is like we call the catalyst of the fire, maybe around, because this is gases. So any fire, maybe it will distribute more because you're dealing with fire here. You're not dealing with something normal because gases, maybe oils, maybe fuels. With the fire, it will be increased. This is catalyst of the fire. And you're going there, sacrifice your life, wearing safety jackets, going there for one key just to finish your job. She considered it as a social responsibility for her country. So we are very proud of our people.
Yes, indeed, and especially having this kind of seminars and conference being presented at Kuwait University, Special Department of Science. I mean, she had that kind of experience in trying to give more of a glimpse of what actually happened during her, let's say, journey itself when it comes into dealing with tremendous, of course, and huge pollution that actually happened during the area itself. I mean, it was something very global. It really affected a lot when it comes into different kind of creatures. I mean, we've always remember, like for me, I always remember the picture of the flamingo, like how black it was and the way it actually stood, and how horrifying it was when it comes into that time. I mean, having her being a part of such a humanitarian, let's say, work, and especially that she's actually putting herself in front and being one of the soldiers that are working so hard in order for them to let that fire down, and to have that kind of experience transferred to the new generation, to know more about the process itself, how to deal with such kind of events. God forbid if it actually happened within the future, people should really know about the steps, you know, like even if we know about the plan, how it actually, let's say, was presented. I mean, dealing with oil is very difficult in order for you to let the fire down, because it cannot be turned off within water or within any kind of, let's say, liquids. Therefore, it's very complex, and I'm very sure everyone is educated about it.
So the most important, Engineer Sarah Akbar, she's one of the proud of Kuwait. She worked her their best in 1991, and now after this all the years from 2023, so she already shared a good message, like we're doing our best for our past, for our present. So this is about all our topics for today. So today our topics was a variety of collections together.
Yes, of course, as you just said and highlighted, I mean, talking about our episode of today was very richful. We talked more about, let's say, the relationship, and the most important thing is between the two countries of our beloved country, Kuwait, and of course our brotherlyhood country, Pakistan, and the relationship between the two countries for 60 years, of course, and that amazing art collaboration was presented within artists themselves from different kind of countries and nationalities.
So the 60th, celebrating the 60th anniversary for establishment of the diplomatic relation, art unites between Kuwait and the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. And then we talk about another aspect about the big screen, the cinema industry. Ghali Hayat, one is working in the expert in the cinema field, guiding the new generation, the next filmmakers.
Yes, and of course, finally, we talked more about Sarah's Akbar participation when it comes into letting, let's say, working with the oil, the last oil well on fire, and of course, letting it down, and of course, also that time having her way in Kuwait University Science Department and having that collaboration, and of course, getting the knowledge between her and the learners is very important and is very useful at the same time. That was our episode for today. Hopefully everyone enjoyed watching us. Join us again with different episodes, and of course with our crew. With that, we let you be.